Are we live?
Yes, we are live right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hebrew Canaanite channel. And one second, I can hear myself twice. And today I have with me again, after a long hiatus, after a long time where we didn't have him on the channel, Elik. Hi, Elik.
Hi, everyone.
How are you doing?
Good. It's nice to be back. I mean, it's hard to be good this time, like every time I answer it, but yeah, I was long time a bit passive, like not completely passive. I did some concerts and and went to demonstrations, but like, yeah, I also felt like that most of what I do is kind of meaningless, and there's a escalation in the atrocities, and I still have this feeling, but um, we have this conversation. It every time, like, what is the use of having this conversation when the people in power are doing what they're doing, and what is and how can we resist effectively?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the subject of the conversation that we want to have. So I want to just frame the discussion and say a few general things.
Yeah.
So in the last few weeks, I've been feeling quite discouraged. And there were moments where I had some more energy to act, to do some stuff. But in general, I feel like my energy went down, and also the like my activism was hurt because of this. It was diminished, and I feel like in the last few days I'm getting some of my energy back, and I see that it has to do with some realizations that I have, or I don't know if it's realizations, but it's stuff that that I already knew to some extent, but now I feel like I'm relearning it and going deeper in my understanding of this, about what constitutes effective resistance, what constitutes ineffective resistance, how to tell between the two things, and what place we need to come from when we're doing activism and resistance. And I really want to talk about this because I think if we want to not be burnt out, we need to think about these things seriously and deeply. And the more immediate context of what we're talking about is the live stream discussion that we did over on your channel. This was like a week and a half ago, right? 2 weeks ago that we did this, right?
No, less. It was last week, wasn't it? It was a
No.
week
It was
ago?
2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Time is weird, but I think it was 2 weeks ago. We can look. We can look in your channel, but I think it was 2 weeks ago already.
Okay. No, I don't, because it was supposed to be, I think it was something like a week ago. We planned to do
Oh, a
something
week ago?
on Friday, and it didn't work out. Do you want to explain why, or what the discussion was?
Maybe you can start explaining what happened there.
So we had a plan to go to do an action of like
Yeah,
going
that was a
to,
week ago. So
yeah,
my perception of time is
yeah,
distorted, and not yours. My perception of
yeah,
time.
yeah. We
Yeah.
were
It's a
supposed.
weird time. It's a weird period that and everything is confused in my mind. Okay. Okay, so yeah, tell our viewers about this.
Yeah, like we plan to, I had an urgent feeling that we have to do something that is more like a direct action. And I had this feeling of like, what if all the people who cared about this issue would just march to the wall in Gaza? And we did live in my channel that we discussed this. And just when we finished the live, we saw a post of a woman that said that she's going to do it. And she put it out there like publicly to see, I'm going to go to the border with food, and she said, let's bring tents. And we said like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's try to make it happen. And I contacted her, but she said very soon after like that she did this post, the police already called her, like, and kind of threatened her and intimidated her. So she tried to do it more like underground. So she opened a group like in Signal, and she said, let's make it a small action. But then the whole point disappeared. And then we kind of, and at the end, like there was this big demonstration in Sakhnin, in this Palestinian city, and everyone wanted to go there. And which ended...
to Sakhnin. I'm sorry. To Sakhnin. Okay.
Yeah, to Sakhnin. The same day there was big demonstration in the Palestinian town, and I went there at the end as well because I saw that this action is kind of melting away.
Yes.
And I'm not happy about it. I'm kind of like, anyway, we also talked like I don't think we would have succeeded to bring food in or anything, but I feel like that this symbolic gesture of going to the wall is important, and I kind of disappointed in myself that it didn't work.
Yes.
Even though I'm happy the demonstration happened, and they said it was the biggest Palestinian demonstration since I don't know when, and I felt that there was some energy. Like I was happy I was there, so it's not that this day was wasted. But it's kind of, we said we're going to do it and we didn't do it. You have this kind of feeling that...
Yeah, like this sour feeling of
failure.
And
I didn't know if to blame myself because I have this tendency when I see somebody is taking the lead, okay, like I felt, okay, she's doing it, and I kind of joined her. And maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have said like, because in my head, in my imagination, what I wanted to see is many people doing it simultaneously without a leader, and I just, the moment somebody like started to say, I'm doing it, I kind of, and I have this thing, like, and I think we all have, we're afraid to be leaders, or we're afraid to take action. And I thought, what would have happened if I wouldn't give a damn about what she said about the police, and I would just say, just go, let's just go. And I still have it in my mind. And
so I think your summary of what happened. So when I was listening to you, so many questions and subjects and like arguments came up in my mind. So I want to like retell this story, but a little bit slower, and ask the important questions. Okay.
Okay.
So in the live stream that we did on your channel, and we talked about this action, we didn't have a specific date in mind. It was just like, okay, we're throwing this idea out there and we're thinking out loud, very publicly about how to do it. And the direction that we kind of thought about was that we agreed that we want to do it in a way that is decentralized and non-hierarchical and anarchist, like that we want to have it be a true grassroots thing. Okay, we wanted to like push it. We wanted to do our part to push the thing, because I don't know, it was our idea, but it wasn't really our idea. This is another issue, the point that we need to raise, that like we thought about this idea, but it's not like we're geniuses. You raised this idea. You called me and you were like, Alon, we need to do something. Let's do this. So it's not like we were so creative. It was an idea that was floating around. The Standing Together movement, which is a liberal Zionist movement, did something similar. Okay,
Yeah.
and we went to one of those instances. They did it like 3-4 times, that they went to the Gaza wall, and we went to the first one, and it felt very weak, and it felt like they were actually collaborating with it. It was all approved by the police and in collaboration with the police, and we didn't really get to the wall, and nothing of substance seemed to happen, and the slogans were very mild and non-radical, and everything felt like a show. And so we wanted to do like the same thing, only radical.
Yeah.
And then the fact is that I think it was like an hour after we finished our phone conversation and thought about doing this, we saw this Facebook post that another woman thought about doing this like independently. So the idea was floating in the air. And we wanted to do our part to push it, but in a certain way, in a way that is not centralized and like where the organization is more flat. So our plan was to like create a text that we can share, and like everywhere that we see people talking about like how they are against the starvation of the people of Gaza, to put this text and to say, we're going to the Gaza wall with food, come with us. And hopefully this would have created like a wave. And our inspiration was something similar to the Marches of Return of 2018 and 19 on the other side of the war. That started semi-spontaneously, right? With someone writing a Facebook post.
Yeah, it's documented in the Abby Martin's movie, Gaza March for Freedom.
Which is on my list of movies that I need to watch ASAP, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I guess it will be even more heartbreaking to watch it now.
Yeah, knowing what transpired.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what happened is that we saw this Facebook post and we were like, okay, this is exactly what we wanted, right? This is spontaneous, all kinds of people writing posts. You also wrote a post, right? But then because you started talking to this woman, and she was like, okay, I'm organizing this, and she got a call from the police, and the police were like, be careful, right? And then at some point, we had another phone call, and we were talking about, like after the live stream that we did, and we were talking about, okay, we had a plan of spreading the word in a public way, but this woman says, no, please don't do it. We want to do it covertly and see what happens.
Yeah, because she said if the police already know about it, and if we do it too much in the open, they will know where we're going and they will stop us.
Yes. And I remember a moment where in my mind, there were like two very distinct voices having an argument, an internal argument.
Should we listen to her or just say fuck it?
Yes, one of the voices were like, okay, so she started it, and it's like, don't ruin it for her, and maybe she's right, and maybe that's the right, like just go with the flow, And the other voice was like, fuck this shit, this is not what we wanted. This is a bad idea. And in the end, what happened was that the first voice won, and we decided to go with the flow and not to and try and see what happens with this initiative. And we had like a Telegram group where we talked about this signal, whatever. a group where we talked about the activity, and I said, she asked, does anyone have any thoughts and ideas? And I said exactly what we said in the conversation. I wrote exactly what we said in the conversation. This is how I see it. And the reply was like, yeah, maybe, but blah, 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 blah. And already I started feeling like this is not,
It's not
this is
going
not
to
it.
happen.
Yeah. And in the end, it was like, okay, this is not working. This is not working. And they canceled it. And
I a bit felt that it's like we should have, like, we put it on her because she took the first one to put the act, and then she got scared, and everyone kind of put on her to lead it instead of like saying, we're doing it, fuck it, we go. And I think she wasn't ready to lead the action, but no one else took even though they drove before and they checked the area. So I thought, okay, they're planning something. I want to see what's going on. And
but I also had like this thought. I remember distinctly thinking about these things. There were a few days where I was heavily thinking about this. I was very concentrated on this. And I remember having this thought of like this is not going in the direction that I feel is the right thing. But like, who am I? Who am I to like push it there? And I remember thinking, I'm a man, okay? I'm a man, and it's not, and she's a woman, and the other woman who was also like heavily involved, they're two women, and I'm a man, and I shouldn't, like, men always take over, and they always do this, and they always do this, and don't be that. Like I told myself, don't do it. It's not good because don't, as a man, you shouldn't take over it. You should let. And this like connected to another like big dilemma that I have in my mind, which is like, how do you lead an anarchist action? Like, it feels like a contradiction, right? An internal contradiction. How do I like? I want the action to be anarchist, right? So how do I lead the action in an anarchist direction? I can't do it.
I think like anarchist leadership is that you just do. You don't tell others what to do, but you're saying, hey, I'm doing. You want to join me? Fine. You don't want to do it? So I'll do it by myself, It's like, or I don't know.
I hear you. I hear you. That's a good point. But we have to remember that everything that's happening is happening in the context of very highly hierarchical, violent, oppressive systems.
Yeah.
The police is there. Like, you can talk about it abstractly, but you can talk about it very concretely. This woman got a phone call from the police threatening her.
Yeah, and it was very short time after she published
like hours after.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Let's say we would say, fuck it. Okay, we're publishing, we're doing our first plan to just create an event, right? And to make it completely out in the open. So the police would have come to us as well, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But my idea was to do it in a way that's like no, we're not the lead, like we're not.
It's something that happened.
Here. Yeah. Like just people are talking about, no, it's not ours. It's not ours.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be ours. I don't want it because of like theoretical reasons, like deep theoretical reasons of like anarchist like my anarchist viewpoint, and also for very practical reasons, because I think it works better like that. Which is the reason why I'm an anarchist to begin with, right? It's both theoretical and practical. And I don't know, but something in me was like, no, if you do this, you will ruin it for the ones who are doing like if you do it like that, then it kind of clashes with the covert action that. But also, I think that there's something here. This shirt, I got it when I participated in an action that was organized by it's called NARD. I'm trying to remember what NARD stands for. Let me check it for 1 second. NARD acronym. Hold on. I'm breaking the momentum. No, it's not the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors. Never mind. It's like an international organization for liberation of non-human animals. And this action was organized by another organization, which is called Meet the Victims, MTV, the Israeli faction. Which I'm not part of them anymore because they're Zionists, okay? But my point is that this organization always presented themselves as if they were anarchically organized, okay? And this was charming to me to begin with. Like to me, it was one of the reasons that I started participating in their actions. This was 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. No, 3 years ago. But like within a few months, I started realizing more and more and more that it wasn't like that. That it was, in fact, the opposite. That it was like an anarchist front, but in reality, there was like this powerful woman. Her name is Yasmin, and she organizes everything, and she calls all the shots. And if anyone really challenges her seriously, she pretends to listen and to work together with everyone. But if anyone really challenges her, then they're out of the. And it's like a personality cult. Okay, it's like the opposite of anarchism. It's a personality cult. And why do I mention this? Because so I still like the message of this shirt. Okay, so I'm wearing it. It doesn't matter. But one of the ways that the will of the organization was imposed on all the participants, and I'm talking about hundreds of maybe thousands of participants all across Israel, like devoted activists for animal rights. One of the ways that the will of the organization was imposed on others was by invoking the surveillance of the police. Okay, we want to be safe. We don't want the action to be compromised. We don't want people to be beat up or arrested or get in legal trouble. And so we're doing it safely. We're doing it responsibly. Blah 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 blah. And I feel like the very existence of the police, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't be careful. I'm not saying that we should be irresponsible. I'm not saying that we should aim to be arrested on purpose, and that we should aim for, like stupid action. But I feel like there's this kind of energy where the threat of the police really affects the way that actions are organized, and it affects them very, very negatively. And I think that this is the kind of thing that happened here as well. Like the police called this woman, the police identified this woman as someone who was leading the action. So they called her, they scared her, and her fear trickled down to everyone else. And the police was successful. The police was successful in stopping this action from happening. Okay? And the police are very, very professional. We have to understand that we're going against people who are not, they might seem stupid. They might seem incompetent. they're fascists, right? They're disgusting people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they're very good at what they do. This organization is very good at what it does, and what it does is maintains the order, maintains the system, maintains the power structure, and crushes any really any resistance attempts that might cause a real threat. And we have to be very careful about this. And this is something that I see happening here, and that I don't know how. Okay, so now I'm asking you, how do we avoid this? What do you think?
I don't know, because the only other option that I feel that we could have is just say we don't give a damn, right? We just go for it and see what happens.
Yes.
What would have happened if we just say not surrender to her fear and tell her, look, it's nice that you thought to do it, but you're not owning the action. It's grassroots action. That's the meaning of having no leaders, right? That nobody can call it off.
Yes.
And we say we are public, we are not, like, maybe to create a situation where there is no leaders, it's just many people. How do you create a wave of many people sharing it? But then the police would have known, and they would have wait where we say, and there's going to be like, and that's what happened with Standing Together. Like, there was already a lot of police there. So
yeah, so with Standing Together, okay, let's compare this to Standing Together. Standing Together, in the
moment
beginning,
we saw Alon Green talking to the main chief of the police, right?
Yes. Before the protest even started, some officer from the police, like a higher up, came to Alon Green. He was like, "Come with me," and Alon Green went with him. And I don't know what the conversation was like, okay? But I don't think it was a fight, right? It was like...
But at the end, he got arrested in that protest.
To me, it seems like another part of the show.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like the dance, right? There's the dance. And the leaders of the resistance, who are actually collaborators of the system, like Alon Green is a full collaborator of the Zionist system. He's a Zionist. He's a Zionist. He's part of the cut. What can you do? He wants the state of Israel to continue existing. His livelihood is dependent on the existence of the state of Israel. He wants to be a politician. He was always around politicians in the Israeli parliament. He wants to be a politician in the Israeli parliament. If he manages to be elected to the Knesset, the Israeli parliament, he will make around $10,000-$15,000 every month. His monthly salary would be $10,000 to $15,000, not including perks. And a personal driver and blah, 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 all these.
But don't you think at least that he wants the genocide to end, or he has nothing of it is like, all of his intentions are cynical and
okay, so this is this is a different and deep discussion about how servants of the cult are manipulated by the cult into thinking that they're doing what they really believe in, but their feelings, their thoughts, their beliefs, their entire existence is actually appropriated by the cult, okay? And I think that this is why, so a lot of people tell me, why are you so simplistic in you also told me this. Why are you so simplistic in separating between Zionists and anti-Zionists? Why don't you give people a chance? And I have an answer for this. And the answer that I give for this is that both on an empirical level, my experience shows that anyone who is in some way affiliated with the Zionist cult is still controlled to some extent by the Zionist cult, and the more left wing, that is liberal, they are, the less it is obvious, and then it becomes more dangerous. Okay, they can manipulate you by displaying themselves as people on your side, right? The first thing that a liberal Zionist will tell you, that a leftist Zionist will tell you, is,
I'm on your side.
look, I'm on your side. I'm on your side, but
Yeah, like Yuval Noah Harari told us.
exactly, and this is exactly what was on my mind. The conversation that we had with Yuval Noah Harari, the very first thing that he told us was, I'm on your side.
I'm with you.
And 1 year later, we know exactly what side he's on. Okay, and it's not our side. Okay, and this is why I think it's really important to differentiate between people who are still part of the cult and people who are going against the cult, and people who are not going against the cult and are still part of the cult. They're really dangerous. It's dangerous to cooperate with them, because see what happened. See what happened here, right? Because the police can talk to them, and they are like they can be easily manipulated by the police, and then they will manipulate you, and it goes around and it comes to you, and then you are manipulated into being less effective.
But I don't think, like, being afraid of the police or a phone call you get from them means you're necessarily part of the cult. You just fear your safety, or if you're getting arrested, you're like I don't know personally the woman who organized this, but like I got the sense that she got scared, and maybe I would have get scared too. If I get a call from the police, it means they know
maybe it is
who
a sign that we're part of the cult. Maybe it is a sign that we're part of the cult. Maybe it's still a sign that we're still under the control of the cult.
Yeah, we are under the control physically, but that's the thing. That's why this distinction is not so clear cut to me, because, let's say, you can say, for example, part of the musicians I play with are not completely, I don't know what their position, they're musicians, one of them is part of the Hadash party, and the other two, I don't think they're not political people in a very deep way. They're just like, many musicians that I know here.
And I think that this position is deeply political, by the way.
Yeah, it is. But I get them to play my music, and I'm collaborating with them, and I'm happy that I have a band who are ready to do it with me. And it's not because I'm surrendering to it. It's like, that's the situation. I need musicians to play with, and it's...
Yes.
And the moment and some people tell us from outside that just because you're living there and collaborating with people from the cult, it means you are part of the cult. And sometimes I think maybe that's true, but
it's true. It's true to some extent. I need to say this. It's true to some extent. Okay, it's true. But many other additions. So let me say why it's definitely true. Are not all people who are part of the cult because they have material incentives given to them by the cult?
Yeah, I'm going to work with people who are fucking fascist, and I have to shut up and not tell them my opinions. It means I'm physically cooperating with them, right?
Yes. But on the other hand, isn't everyone part of the cult? Because Zionism is just an extension of capitalism, of imperialism, of Western supremacy, of white supremacy, of colonialism, right? It's an extension of this. And everyone who lives in the US and in Europe and whatever, they're part of that as well, right?
Yeah.
So, and patriarchy, and every human is part of patriarchy, right? And militarism, and every human is part of militarism, and statism, and every human is part of statism, or I don't know if every human, but the vast majority. Everyone who is criticizing us for living here, they live there. And that's also
it's only if you create a form of existence that is completely self-sufficient and then
is that even possible? Is that even possible? I don't know.
Some people do it, but and then so That's why when you say it's dangerous to cooperate, I agree with you, but I don't know if it's possible for me at the moment. And I distinguish between people that I feel that I can have a conversation with, and there you who don't try to shut me up, who people like it's hard situation.
So what is happening in my brain right now is that I see how we need to center the discussion, at least for now, on being aware, on awareness for how this happens. And this has two different sides, okay? So first of all, you need to be aware of how the behavior of other people and how they are controlled by the systems of oppression, okay?
It affects you.
Yeah, so we're talking about Zionism, but this is just one example. Everyone is in some way manipulated by the systems of oppression. This is what the systems of oppression do. They control our minds and they make us into servants, okay? So when you work with other people, you need to be very careful and aware of how they are manipulated by these systems. And you have to turn this awareness inwards as well and see how you are controlled and manipulated and so forth and so on. And I think that this awareness is a very big part, and especially definitely a critical part of meaningful action. If you are not aware of how the system is manipulating you into collaborating with it, of course you cannot do meaningful action, right? It's just your action will actually play into the hands of the system.
Yeah, and I think in our case here, it manipulated us through fear, and let's be honest, we are also afraid, right? So it was kind of our easy choice for us to surrender to the fear that was infiltrated into this woman heart that we don't know. I don't know her personally.
Yes.
She wrote me also, I noticed only after, personally, like, Elik, I feel it's melting down. What can we do? I feel I'm losing the action. What's going on? And
interesting, because at that point, if we had had a conversation at that point, we could have told her,
yeah,
let's do it like this.
I saw only on day after that I was already on my way to Sakhnin that I got this message from her. But I still want to do it, but how do we not surrender to fear? What would have happened if we wouldn't surrender? Like, all these questions are still in my mind.
So I want to go in the other direction on purpose, like intentionally, because I want to make this a nuanced discussion.
I need to go to a short break, and I'm going to the bathroom for one second. So keep your thought, and
maybe I will answer some questions in the chat.
Yeah,
I will look at the chat. Okay. So I'm gonna try to find a question or two in the chat and talk about that. Okay, there's too many messages in the chat. So maybe if you can write down questions right now, if you have something to ask me, and I will try to answer. Maybe if you try to make it connected to our discussion, relevant to our discussion about what is effective resistance, what is ineffective resistance. I'm sorry, I wasn't following the chat. Is someone here a troll that I need to mute? Oh, Dire Straits is a troll? Is he a Zionist troll? Please tell me what you think.
What did you say? There's a troll?
They say that someone is a troll. It seems like someone is a troll, but I don't. Oh, it's really hard. I don't want to police, right? I don't. This is exactly. I don't want to police anyone. But if someone is a troll, then I don't know. Let me see. Let me see what people are saying. Not sure. I think maybe we were being a bit paranoid. But so there's two differing opinions. Okay, I will let it be. let's continue.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say something like in the other direction, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That we shouldn't be so quick to go to the approach of, yeah, fuck it, let's do whatever we want, okay? Because
Okay.
that is also not intelligent and not smart, right? Because if you do something that the system also wants you to make stupid mistake. The system also wants you to be careless and not careful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are careless, then you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, they can use those mistakes against you. Okay? So for example, let's be concrete. We could have gone there and just walked towards the border, and then they would have arrested us, and this entire thing would have been, completely stopped in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's a balance. And it's really hard. And the system is powerful, and it's really difficult to know what the correct way to resist the system is. And the fact is that no one is resisting the system effectively. You know how I know that? Because the system is winning. Like,
yeah.
it's just what's happened. It's just what's happening. The system is winning. We're not. Our actions are not effective enough.
Yeah.
So we need to always be vigilant and always think deeply about what is correct and what is incorrect to do.
So what's the answer? So, because I feel like we're in a kind of dead end. It's either because sometimes I feel that like my father used to quote Nietzsche,
Mm-hmm.
that some level of stupidity is necessary for every action. And maybe you need to be irrational. Maybe you need to be angry and emotional and hope that enough. And when you feel this wave, maybe this is the moment when many people join you. And because
sometimes I feel that I am most effective when I'm irrational and angry, and people call me stupid and crazy and blah 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 blah. And then I'm like, no, fuck
I've
this.
been in some situation with you that I felt, even though like people were afraid and you were like they're the only one to scream, it felt like at least somebody is saying that, at least, and you were alone, but it had, and maybe if somebody at some other situation you would get people to shout with you. Like I was in this liberal demonstration on Thursday.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
And I was like with a group of the people we were raising signs against genocide, and we were shouting.
Mm-hmm.
And many liberals came and tried to shut us up.
But maybe just give some context about what this protest was about and what the population was like. Just give some context so that people understand.
There's the hostages. Like there's the protest to end the war they call it the war, they don't call it genocide. It was a protest that was organized by the liberal camp. Usually they do it every Saturday. This time it was Thursday. Mm-hmm. And I saw, usually I don't go there because I just get sick from all the flags. Yeah.
The amount of Israeli flags in these protests is over 9,000. Okay.
Yeah. And it's like they're claiming to be against the regime, but it's actually a show of support of the regime,
Yes. Of another faction of the regime, of the liberal faction of the regime. They're against Bibi. They're against Netanyahu. Yeah. They're against the current government. That's what they are.
And it's the first time I was there, and I joined the group. But some people from, who want to protest the genocide, they're coming there and holding signs. So I joined them.
Yes.
And
I heard that the speeches on the stage in this protest were around our brave soldiers, we must protect our brave soldiers, we must protect the hostages, us, Jews, Israelis, the army. They're 100% Zionists. They're not even trying to pretend that they're not.
Yeah, and they say and all the speeches were along the line that at the beginning it was a justified war, but now we don't know what we're doing there anymore. We need to have a deal to save our soldiers and to save the hostages. There was not even one speech who mentioned that the starvation, the killing, nothing in Gaza.
Yes.
But there was not such a small group of people who were like really angry from like there was one guy who was like kept screaming about like the children in Gaza, and like many people tried to shut him up, and he was more and more he felt a bit like violent, like people was a bit scared of him, but it was good because like usually people around this our positions don't get to be aggressive.
Yeah, they're good kids, the good kids.
Yeah.
Which is
So
also
there
a problem.
was where we stood, there was a lot of confrontations. But what did I want to say about it? No, what did I want to say?
I think you wanted to say about the guy who shouted "Free Palestine," right? You wanted to tell about that.
There was few things. Yeah, there was one Palestinian woman who came that she is collaborating with Combatant for Peace that you just criticized in your story.
Yeah.
But I liked her. I felt that she has, I don't know, maybe it's different, you know, when it's a Palestinian. I think like she has and she gave a speech like that she told like to the Israelis, like, I want to see more Israelis come to protest with us in the West Bank, come to be with us. Like
she gave a speech on stage?
No, not on stage. She came to where all the lefties were standing, and she was talking to the megaphone.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then when she finished, like one young kid wanted to start shouting like free Palestine, and the more older guy from Hadash party really shut him up very aggressively. He was like holding his, and
yes,
yeah, because they don't want to upset the liberals too much, you know. They're like
yes.
And there was a lot of hostility there. There was like every time there was a speech, we started interrupting it, like saying, what about stop the genocide and stuff like this? And people around were like, shut up. And people, and there was one guy who really, like there was also physical violence, like the Zionists are very upset with this kind of, with people, because, you know, what's one of their biggest thing is to have respect for the families of the soldiers. And part of people who gave speeches on stage were people who their kids died in the army.
Yes.
And then they like came to us and they say, like, by you showing the photos of dead kids in Gaza, you guys have no respect to the death of the soldiers who killed them.
Which I have to say, those people would think that the families of the Hamas fighters should be murdered because they're the families of the Hamas fighters. So, like, what is your moral position? It's not a moral position. It's a tribal position. It's a racist position.
Yeah, it's a pure tribal.
Like the double standard is like so severe. Like the gap between the two standards is like the most that it can be.
Yeah.
Like the families of the Israeli soldiers should be respected, and the families of the Hamas fighters should be murdered.
Killed.
Right?
Yeah.
So like the opposite.
Yeah, because I think there's the thing about tribalism that it's either you're all the way in or it's either you're out. Like you don't have, if you're on a, but the funny that they want to present themselves as liberals, like as if they have some universal morality point of view, which they demonstrated that they have none, you know, like, but I don't like, why did I mention this demonstration? Like, I don't
know where you were trying to go with this. Maybe while you think about this, I will. There's a question in the chat, and the question is, why don't you join the groups already protesting against starvation and the genocide in Tel Aviv? I saw them on YouTube. And this is also related to this discussion, because I feel like the protests against the genocide and the starvation are also in many ways fake. We were talking about how yesterday, I think it was yesterday, on national TV in Israel, on channel 12, right? The most mainstream news show, okay? It was Yonit Levy who said this, right?
Yeah, they said like somebody's there was like they were talking about the hasbara failure.
Yeah.
And then she said maybe it's not an hasbara failure, maybe it's a moral failure about the
Yes. So this
starvation.
is the most popular news anchor in Israel. Okay, Yonit Levy, she is like top. Okay, like you can arguably the most popular news anchor in Israel, and what she is saying on national TV, everyone is watching. She is saying maybe it's a moral failure. So if she is saying it, then now it's okay to say it, and this is something that I'm very suspicious about, because you can say, oh great, we're winning. This is like a victory of the movement to free Palestine, or the movement against to stop the genocide, okay, to stop the genocide. But I don't think that's true. I don't know, like it's mixed, but I think that this is another instance of the system making tactical choices to give something to the public, demanding, the world is demanding that this stops, right? Most people around the world now are against the genocide. Okay, but it continues, yet it continues. And why does it continue? It continues because it is in the interest of the system, of those in power. And those in power don't care whether the majority of people are against the genocide. They don't care. They don't give a shit. Unless it's kind of like it becomes difficult, right? Unless they're starting to feel like there might be some, shift, like they're starting to feel that people are being radicalized too much, and maybe they will start doing like really extreme action. Okay, so what is what does the system do? The system goes, okay, so it's a tactical move now to give some symbolic gestures. This is exactly what we said about No Other Land winning the Oscar, right? When we did the episode on the One State Solution podcast about normalization. That this is some attempt to dampen the resistance, to placate the resistance, to stop this wave that might become too large. And so what they're doing is they're giving like symbolic gestures. And I feel like this is expressed inside Israeli society, Jewish Israeli society, in the following way, that Jewish Israelis, liberal Zionists in general, are now feeling that there is a shift, okay? And now they're like, okay, so we need to save our image. So now they're giving this, lip service to the...
But then it doesn't mean that there is no success there at all. It means that there is some success, and if you're satisfied with the products, it's shut down. And if you keep pushing for more, I don't know. We always have this discussion because I want to join more like protests. Sometimes this specific protest of standing together, I didn't go, but I thought of going. And I don't know, because if there's many people in the street shouting to stop the genocide, like I have this simple, notion that I want to be there with them. Like, I want to, because my voice is more meaningful when I stand with a lot of people. And that's why
Is it though?
I don't know.
That's a question that we need to ask.
Because I feel sometimes that when I'm just doing these videos or when I'm performing by myself, that I'm too much. Like, let's say when I was in the demonstration in Sakhnin, it felt good. I felt like where I'm standing where I'm supposed to be, and finally I'm standing with a lot of people, it felt way more, maybe this is a different example because it was a Palestinian demonstration.
Yes, it was Palestine. Let's say exactly, it was a Palestinian demonstration, but Palestinian in the sense of 48 Palestinians, okay? And we must emphasize that the material interests of 48 Palestinians are inherently different from the material interests of Palestinians in the West Bank and of Palestinians in Gaza. And this is designed this is a result of an intentional process engineered by the Zionist regime to separate the Palestinians into four distinct groups: Palestinians living in Gaza, Palestinians living in the West Bank, Palestinians living within 48 lines, and Palestinians living in the diaspora. Okay, there are four distinct groups of Palestinians with distinct material interests and distinct political tendencies. Okay, so I'm not saying that that what I said now is the determining factor to decide whether in this direction or in this direction. But we have to understand what the situation is. But now you can continue talking about this protest.
I feel that's why, but it feels good to me that I feel every time I went a few times. I think it was once in El Fahem and once in Sakhnin. It feels like that there is true Palestinian solidarity, that it felt like that I really felt like I'm among people who care for their people in Gaza. Like I felt, it felt real, it felt, I don't know, and it felt way more anarchist in a way that, there was no one guy leading it, it's many people marching and suddenly somebody start to shout something and everyone joining, and then
now I wish I'd been there. The reason that I didn't go was that I was heavily discouraged by what happened with the plan to go to the Gaza wall. I was like depressed. I became depressed, and I was like, I can't do anything now. I just want to, like, I became confused and I became depressed.
But next time I think if you would have come, it would raise your feelings a bit. It felt.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe you would have been more critical than me, but I felt like, for sure, you would have been about the Israelis who gave speeches there, like the Jewish Israelis, because it felt like it's a bit watering down the message. But I don't know. You can look at. I did a live from.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
You maybe will get the atmosphere. It felt good. It felt like a popular rising.
So
what is the time, by the way? I just need.
It's 4:45, so maybe we can continue for like half an hour more and then.
And then there's a demonstration at 6 in Jaffa that organized by the Palestinians of Jaffa. That's why I want to go.
Okay, amazing.
And be there.
So here is the kind of thing that I feel like I need to put into the discussion right now. That. So we were talking about how the system can manipulate you in ways that are difficult to recognize using its agents who are supposedly on your side, okay, but are actually agents of the system. And we're talking about like different actions and whether we want to participate in different actions. Let's say there's a protest. Do we want to join a protest that's like not 100% aligned with what we believe in? And let's be honest here. Let's be plain and simple here. The vast majority of protests happening in occupied Palestine, in the thing called Israel, occupied Palestine, are very far from being aligned with our goals. For example, if you shout "Free Palestine" in one of those protests, you will be aggressively shut down. For example, it's
ridiculous.
So I think that I think that the solution to this, it's not a solution, but like a guiding principle, should be how much you can express yourself. And I think that if you go to some sort of event or action or protest, and you feel like you need to silence your true positions heavily, and censor yourself heavily, and go with the flow, and go along with watering down of things, and both siding and normalization and liberalism, and peace, 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 then I think it's a problem. And if you don't feel like that, if you feel like you can express yourself, and if our positions do have a place in that event, then that's good. And I think that the way we should operate is the following: we should try to go to places and test this. Like, here is what I would do if I had gone to that liberal protest. I would join the calls of Free Palestine. Like, I think you tried to do it, right? You told me that you tried to do it.
Yeah, but
and you were silenced, right?
Yeah.
I would, if I were there, I would call Free Palestine, and maybe I would be silenced as well. But I don't know. I have a louder voice, and I'm more crazy. So maybe I could not have been silenced as easily. But maybe because I'm like that, they would beat me up, which would prove something,
Yeah.
And if I go to the protest in Sakhnin or in Al-Fahm or maybe I will say some more radical
in
things.
Arabic, so you wouldn't know what you would. But yeah.
But also sometimes I feel like 48 Palestinians and the people who cooperate mainly with 48 Palestinians use the fact that they're Palestinians to silence me. This is something that I talked about on this channel several times, to silence me because you're Jewish, you're privileged, you don't understand anything. And then I say something radical against Zionism, and they use the fact that they're Palestinians, even though they're 48 Palestinians, to silence my radical criticism of Zionism. And then I feel, I feel like it works on me. Okay, it works on me because I don't want to go against Palestinians, right? And the very fact that it works is dangerous. So I don't know. It's confusing. It's really confusing.
Yeah, but I think I don't think that the case when it's a majority Palestinian demonstration in 48, it didn't feel to me like Zionist in. Like there is a game there, because people from Hadash and Standing Together were there and they come to. But if you ask, to me, it's always weird because if I ask them, like, but you see what's going on here, right? They're not on your side. The vast majority people here, they shout like they shout. There was calls for Intifada. There's like
in Sakhnin.
Can. Yeah,
okay.
It's like there's
Oh, and then the people from Hadash told you that you were a traitor because you want to be on their side.
No, they are not. They are there. They are coming and they show their solidarity, but they play as if like there is no contradiction between what they're saying and what the vast majority of the people in the demonstration are saying. Like, and that's a bit weird, but I think that's how they do their politics. Like they join, they say we support with solidarity, but the messages that are being shouted in Arabic are very different from what they're saying and as their political.
How did you know what the messages were in Arabic? You don't know Arabic.
No, but I found first of all, you feel it, you feel the energy, they say that there was like Bildam, Bilruh, Nafdik ya Gaza, like we will.
Okay, with blood and with spirit, we will free Gaza.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
I know a little bit of Arabic already. Like, I think maybe I would have understood the slogans. Maybe I should go.
Some, yeah. And they say about that the Israel is like a terrorist regime.
Also, and that's similar to the vibe that I felt in Barcelona, where I was in the
I think you would enjoy it if we would come. It felt like really like radical popular
Because
protest.
the way, let me say this, the way that this protest was marketed to the Jewish audience was that
Yeah.
it was like a peace protest.
No, it was really not. It was not that at all. But for the Jewish people who come, they kind of they. I remember they kind of ignore it, or they kind of, I don't know how they make peace with that in their mind. I was like, hell yeah, but it's like
Yeah.
um,
Okay, Elik, I think we should go to like the next time there's a protest like organized by Palestinians in some Palestinian town like Sakhnin, like Al-Fahim, like
mm,
Nazareth, whatever. We should go. We should go. And maybe we should also listen. What is the name of the woman you were talking about who said that that the Jews should come to the West Bank? What is
Mai Shaheen.
Okay, so maybe we should listen to Maya Shaheen as well and go to the West Bank.
Yeah, we should. I think, I don't know. We need to find connections. The moment you know people, it's easier. But I don't think, we're like, they brainwashed us that it's like super dangerous to go there. I don't think, I don't know,
This
but
is
I
how we
don't.
are still part of the cult. This is
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know that the main part inside me, that is still collaborating with the cult is my fear and my avoidance of action.
right.
Like my laziness, let's call it lazy,
Yeah,
but it's not laziness. It's like akin to fear. It's like, no, I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to, like this. There's something in me that's like paralyzing myself, and I know that this
yeah,
is the part in me that is most controlled by the cult. So maybe this is the part in me that I should resist the hardest, like now,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. We should resist it, but it's also understandable. And the moment you make personal connection with people, it becomes easier. And
Okay. If you are watching this video right now, live or after the fact on the YouTube recording, and if you are either Palestinian living in the West Bank or Palestinian living within 48 lines, or you're Jewish but you are connected to these factions and you want to personally encourage us and take us to the West Bank, take us to visit Palestinian cities within 48 lines and create, please send us, leave a comment, send us a message on Instagram. Let's put our Instagram names. So my Instagram is roble_viajero.
let's talk to, what's his name, Majd Asadi. You know him?
Yeah, on Facebook. I know him from Facebook.
I met him there physically. It's really,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
he translated a bit for me, like the slogans, what they say.
Okay, please send us messages. Please, we will try to contact Palestinians that we know, but this is like a thing. This is like a thing that we've been at this for almost 2 years now. We barely know Palestinians who live here.
Yeah, and that's a weakness of our,
Yes.
if we want.
Yes, our activism is weak because of this. So we want to break this wall. We
Yeah,
want to
we
break
have.
this wall.
Yeah, I want to talk to Mai and tell her I heard you at the speech, and I want to come and I want to show solidarity. I want maybe to do performances in the West Bank.
You would feel much freer doing performances in the West Bank than you do in within 48 lines, right?
Yeah.
Or if you do it in a Palestinian town within 48 lines.
Yeah, because but that's the thing. If we want to break this system of the oppression, its main tool is the separation, and I think it takes more work from us but it's possible. I feel like it's either that or just leaving the country. I don't see reason to stay here if I don't do that. Because
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, it's like, all right, so they're going to erase Gaza and the West Bank, and I'm going to sit here and say, with the people who are doing it and supporting, and tell them, hey, that's not okay. That's not okay. Please stop doing that. It's like, how long can you stay this? And they're like, yeah, we love you, brother. We let you speak, but we don't give a shit about you. Come and it's like you sit, it's that's how it feels a little bit.
Yes. Sometimes I feel like I'm also part of the show by not really, going against it.
Yeah, it's like you drew the line with your family and said, "I'm not coming to a dinner when they're serving, meat
corpses
and dairy."
of abused and enslaved animals.
Because you felt like it's ridiculous. I will sit with them and just continue this thing, and it's like,
But I also drew the line. I also drew the line with them silencing me when I tried to speak about Gaza, and I spoke a little bit about Gaza, and now my family is completely disintegrated. There's no I don't know what will happen, but a week and a half ago, I spoke about Gaza during a family dinner. I didn't even speak, in the main forum. I just had a small conversation with my father because I couldn't stop thinking about Muhammad, who is starving while we have too much food, and a fight broke out, and now I'm the bad guy, So it's like it's much more difficult to put your foot down in this situation. Like there's something different about it. It's the aggressiveness is much higher. So I don't know what to do.
What keeps me here, is when I'm thinking about, like, when I was talking to Muhammad, and he told me, like, I want you to stay there and talk to people because we need to, like, I asked him once, do you think I should leave or should go? And he was like, no, I think you should stay. Like, that was his. He didn't say that directly, but he was like, I want you to be there and talk to people and talk to them about the one state solution. And I want you to.
So I think, yes, but let's make this explicit. If we do, then we must say the things. We must say the truth. We can't play into the hands of those who are trying to say, stay nice, say the nice things. You want people to listen to you, don't you? You want people to listen to you, don't you? So don't say what you really believe, and then we will listen to you. I don't want to play this game anymore. It makes me depressed. It makes me inactive. It makes me hate myself. It makes me hate everyone else. Like, I don't want to play this game anymore. I want to say the truth. I want to speak up for what I truly believe in. And if I can't, then there's a problem, right?
Yeah, and then maybe it's better to already find other. I don't know.
That's why it's
hard.
Yeah. But I do feel like my conclusion that I'm taking. Let's wrap up this conversation, I think, because it's been going on for a while now. But I think what I'm taking from this conversation, I don't want to tell anyone else what to do and how to think. I want to tell myself. Okay, I'm taking something for myself. I saw very, very clearly something that I've been seeing more and more and more in the last few weeks and few months. Like going back, I see that it's something that's been, becoming more and more apparent in my own mind, that my fear is paralyzing me. My fear of what people will think, what people will say, what people will do to me, what the regime will do to me if I go too far. This fear is paralyzing me. And I'm not saying that the alternative of doing something really, really stupid, like, I don't know. So this is not a criticism of Aaron Bushnell, okay? He did something very, very powerful, okay? But it's not the kind of thing that I want to do, to light myself on fire and to commit suicide in the name of protest, okay? I appreciate what he did, but it's not the kind of thing that I want to do. I don't want to go there. I want to do something different, okay?
And I just wanted to I forgot something about the demonstration that I wanted to share that was the
Okay, but let me just finish the point. Okay, because I have like this thought, okay? So I don't want to do something stupid. And I don't want to burn myself, not physically and not metaphorically, okay?
Yeah.
But I don't want to let fear guide my actions and control me. I want to I want to decide what my actions are when I'm not controlled by fear. This is the conclusion that I'm taking for myself, and I hope many other people will do the same thing as well in their own positions. So now you want to tell that's like the last thing that we say in this conversation.
At the end of the liberal demonstration, they were singing the anthem.
Yeah, Hatikva, the national anthem of Israel.
And Tal just got, my girlfriend, she got snapped, and she was just walking between the people who were standing and started shouting at them that they're like, you fucking Zionists, there are people dying in Gaza.
Oh my God. Awesome. Awesome.
And they cannot respond because they're loyal
because they're
to
singing Hatikva. That's genius. Respect to Tal, respect. That's genius.
And I thought that's a meaningful action.
But what happened afterwards when
we
they
were
finished?
We were just, I don't know, they didn't, like, some were cursing her, but like it kind of worked. I felt it was like that I felt that what she did was more meaningful than everything else that we did. This, I was a bit scared. I was just walking, but I held like the sign, the picture of a dead kid in Gaza, and I was walking and do it in front of their faces. It was also something.
Yeah, that's also powerful. That's also powerful.
But she was like really shouting at them, and I thought like, wow, that's using their loyalty to the state to, you know, because they cannot move because they were standing, you know.
So I think that really sums up like what I want to say, that we should always undermine, like if there's something that's like, you know, 50%, you know, like yeah, they're kind of doing something okay, but they're actually still collaborating. Okay, so join them, but undermine them.
Yeah.
Like be there and always criticize, always bring the most radical position that you can to the situation without putting yourself in like real danger. That's the kind of thing that I want to do.
I have this thing, you know, that sometimes I have this fear from people who cannot really do anything bad to me, and it's more this fear of stepping out of the line. Like when she was shouting, I felt like this fear, and I felt like they're not going to do anything. Why am I not? Like, you know, it's this fear of a trained person who is like trained to obey the norm and authority.
Yeah, I think it's internalized
people will
shame
think. Yeah, and I know to recognize it within myself. And it's fear that, you know, it's fear of not of a real danger. It's just fear of being not obedient. But and this fear is something that I recognize within myself, and I know that.
So that's what you need to resist the most within you.
Yeah,
right?
And sometimes. And I had also like this experience that I told you when I was walking in Allenby and I was wearing the watermelon
Allenby
shirt.
is like a main street in Tel Aviv, one of the biggest streets in Tel Aviv. Okay, so
I forgot I was wearing it, and then this like woman and suddenly.
Hold on. The audience doesn't understand. You were wearing. Do you have the shirt that you can show the shirt to the audience? Like maybe you can just bring the shirt. Doesn't matter. It has the map of Palestine in the shape of a watermelon. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a watermelon in the shape of the map of Palestine. So it's more radical than my shirt that just has a watermelon, and this is like plausible deniability. You don't have the plausible deniability. So you were walking in the street and you happened to wear this shirt because you forgot that you were wearing it, and
yeah, because I was wearing it in the Sakhnin demonstration, and that was day after, and I didn't pass through home, so I. And then suddenly, and I forgot, and I see a woman, and suddenly, like a crazy fear in her eyes, and she was like, you are not allowed to wear this shirt here, you know, like this. And I was on the phone and I forgot that I was wearing, and I thought like, you know, these are like small acts of resistance. I don't know. And I thought
Yeah, my
like,
reaction to this was that being a stoner was sometimes the best form of resistance.
yeah, yeah, that you forget you have it. And
Oh, I didn't even notice that I was going against the regime in such a radical way.
yeah, but the
Um,
fear in her eyes, it was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. One last thing, I saw a question here, and that's the last thing that I want to talk about. Uh,
Hmm.
so Samuel Roche is asking, we all feel powerless all across the world. What form of protest do you think might be the most effective in places outside of Palestine? Any thoughts about that, Elik?
Um, well, what form of protest? I think um, like I think we need to step up the disobedience, like
Mhm.
things that are actually going, because it's already 2 years, right?
Almost 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, I'm working now on a song about like I just had this theme in my head that I want to see like 100 freedom flotillas, like not just one. What could they do to 100? Could they do to 1,000?
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
which means like what is disobedience? Like if we're not willing to actually break the law and to actually do things that really disturb the order. So we saw like the people in power can say like, okay, they're shouting and waving their flags,
Mm,
but we continue.
mm.
Uh,
I have a thought. I can't tell you, Samuel and other people asking this question, I can't tell you precisely and concretely what you should do. But I do have some guiding principle that I wish more people around the world followed, which is recognizing that Israel, the Zionist project, is just an
well,
excuse me?
I have a sugar drop, so continue to tell
Yeah,
him
okay.
what to do,
Yeah, yeah.
and
So I'm not telling anyone what to do, but I'm suggesting a way of thinking. And I think we need to recognize that Israel and the Zionist project is just an extension of the empire. It's just an extension of capitalism, of Western supremacy, of white supremacy, of the US empire, of the Western empire, of patriarchy, okay? Of militarism, of statism, okay? Of these big systems that exist all around the world. And I think that the most effective form of action at this point is not pointing the finger at Israelis and saying those Israelis are crazy, those Israelis are demons, those Israelis are Nazis or whatever. It may be true, okay? But I think at this point, the public opinion is so shifted against Israelis that we see that the system is now appropriating this. And how is the system appropriating this? It is making the Israelis and Israel as a country into a scapegoat that you can shift the blame onto to hide the real blame that is on the US, on Europe, on Germany, on the UK, on France.
yeah, and we see that was part of the plan from the get-go.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. Israel is a tool in the hands of the empire to be discarded after it does its job. So please do not collaborate with this. Please do not cooperate with this. Please make sure that you criticize the entire system and especially and specifically your own governments, especially and specifically the people that are in the place that you live. Like if you live in the US, go to the highest place of government that you can reasonably go to, that's like closest to your place, and organize a protest. This is an idea, just an idea, and organize the protest against, if you live in Washington, go to the White House. If you live in New York, I don't know, go to the fucking
But
City
people
Hall.
are doing it for 2 years already, yeah, in Washington.
But demand...
Code Pink is this disturbing
Okay,
people.
but Code Pink is a small movement. It's still small.
Yeah,
I'm saying, if you're wondering what to do, I think the most effective thing to do is to go to to your government and demand that they stop funding Israel, that they stop supporting Israel militarily and diplomatically. If you're in the UK, same. If you're in Germany, same. Okay, criticize your own governments for their complicity and for their it's not just complicity. They are running the show. Make sure that you make it very explicit that they are running the show and that Israel is just a tool in the hand of the empire and that it's the empire's fault. This is my suggestion. Okay. Okay, so I think this was a good talk. I think this was very, very insightful. I learned a lot.
Yeah, what is the time? It's time for me to go, right?
Yeah, it's like 5:15. I think you need to go to the protest. So thank you so much, Elik. It's been a long time since you were on this channel, and I'm really glad that we had this conversation. And I hope we can continue this discussion because it's really helping me focus on what's important and what's the correct thing to do.
Yeah, cool. Okay, and I have 4 songs already in Spotify of this recording that I did.
Hold on, one second.
Okay.
Always others' fault. Who is shooting bullets on baby heads? Bro, I'm not saying that it's not Israel's fault. I'm not saying this. I've been criticizing Israel my entire life. I've been criticizing Zionism my entire life. I've been going against Israel and Zionism publicly and very, very, very explicitly for almost 2 years now. I'm just saying that we need to understand what is the place of Israel in this system. What is the place of Israel in this empire? It's not true that Israel is the puppet master that's managing the entire empire. That is a patently and obviously false claim. And if you say this, then you are actually collaborating with the system. Okay. Sorry, continue, Elik. I had to say this.
Nobody's saying that the people who are shooting babies in the head are not to blame, but they wouldn't have the power to do what they do without the empire's support and
billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars and complete diplomatic support. Come on. Okay, never mind.
I want to say I have 4 songs out. First time
amazing.
in my life. I hope I will do more. It's the genocide song, Imata Yarita Bo, Jewish Brother, and Palestine, Oh Palestine. It's a first version. I hope to do more versions from concerts, from lives, from... But yeah, so if you want to go on Spotify and listen
you want to put the link to this in the chat?
Yeah, I will put the link to it. I know Alon said that it could be a better version, more precise. But I felt like that if I wouldn't have something out, I wouldn't break this pattern of me doing something and not releasing it. It came to a point that it's either I put it out or not. So first version of these songs in Spotify is out.
By the way, the song Imata Yarita Bo, if you shot him, it's you who shot him. This is your song that puts the responsibility on the people shooting the bullets. Yes, it doesn't contradict that there is also the responsibility of the empire. 2 things can be true at once at the same time.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so go to Spotify and support Elik and support his new songs. And we will put the link to Spotify in the description of this video, down in the description of this video. So go and listen to the songs.
And last thing say, as long as these systems are at place, it's all of us to blame that they're in place because we obey them, we fund them. that's how it works. Like, yeah.
One
Okay.
last thing, someone is saying, please no Spotify. I knew that this point would come up. Do you want to say a word about why you put it on Spotify? Because Spotify is in some ways supporting, like in many ways supporting Zionism. Did this cross your mind? Did this cross your mind?
Actually, it didn't. Maybe it should have.
Okay. Maybe it should have.
I thought like this is I wanted it to be on all the platforms. They say, I guess also YouTube that we're streaming right now also.
Like we need to also acknowledge that there's no avoiding this. There is no avoiding this. It's all mixed together. Okay.
Yeah, and also Spotify is the reason why musicians don't do any money. And
yeah.
I will put it on Bandcamp as well.
Yeah, Bandcamp
I don't know.
I think is better, probably.
So I'll put it on Bandcamp as well.
Okay. Okay. We will put all the links, and everyone can go to the place that they feel comfortable going to.
Yeah.
See, and like everything that you try to do, it's like so complicated. It's really complicated. It's really complicated.
Yeah.
And we try our best. We try our best.
Yeah. We try our best. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, everyone. So thank you for listening to this conversation. Thank you for being with us, for writing in the chat. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, write comments for the algorithm. Okay, go to listen to Elik's album. What else should I say? Free Palestine, free the entire planet, free all living beings. Bye bye.